Si tu veux mieux parler anglais en 2026, tu n'as pas besoin de mémoriser des milliers de mots. Tu n'as pas besoin d'étudier la grammaire pendant des heures chaque jour. Et tu n'as pas besoin d'attendre que ton anglais soit parfait avant de commencer à parler. Ce qui m'a le plus aidé était beaucoup plus simple. J'ai commencé à écouter de l'anglais tous les jours. J'écoutais les mêmes expressions encore et encore. J'ai appris l'anglais à travers des situations réelles. Me présenter, parler de ma vie quotidienne, parler du travail, aller à la plage, voyager, parler de mes projets et de mes rêves. Et aujourd'hui, je vais te montrer exactement comment j'apprendrais l'anglais si je devais recommencer en 2026. Alors écoute attentivement. N'essaye pas de comprendre chaque mot. Écoute simplement. Répète. Et laisse ton cerveau s'habituer à l'anglais. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm from Senegal, and I currently live in a busy and beautiful environment. I'm someone who is always trying to learn, improve, and discover new things. I have different interests and I like working on different projects. I enjoy learning new skills because I believe that learning should never stop. Every day is an opportunity to become a little better than yesterday. I don't always know exactly what the future will bring, but I know that I have goals. I know that I have dreams. And I know that I have to keep working if I want to achieve them. I spend a lot of time thinking about my future. Sometimes I think about my career. Sometimes I think about my personal projects. Sometimes I think about the things I want to accomplish in the next few years. I know that success doesn't happen overnight. You have to be patient. You have to work hard. And sometimes you have to continue even when you don't see immediate results. That's not always easy. There are days when I feel motivated, but there are also days when I feel tired. There are days when everything seems to go well. And there are days when nothing goes according to plan. But I have learned something important. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward. Even a small step is still a step forward. Sometimes we compare ourselves to other people. We look at their success and wonder why we are not there yet. But everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own challenges. So I try not to compare my journey to someone else's journey. I focus on my own progress. I ask myself simple questions. What did I learn today? What can I improve? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions help me stay focused. They remind me that progress takes time. I also believe that the way we spend our time is very important. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how we choose to use them. Some people spend their time learning. Some people spend their time working. Some people spend their time with their family and friends. And some people simply need time to rest. I think all of these things are important. Life is about finding balance. You need to work hard, but you also need to rest. You need to have goals, but you also need to enjoy the present moment. You need to think about the future, but you should not forget to live today. For me, learning English is also part of this journey. English is not just a school subject. It is a skill that can open many doors. It can help you communicate with people from different countries. It can help you find information. It can help you travel. It can help you study. And it can help you discover new opportunities. That's why I believe that learning English is a long-term investment. You may not see the results immediately, but if you continue learning, listening and practicing, you will improve. Little by little, day by day, step by step. And one day, you will realize that you understand much more than before. You will understand conversations that used to seem impossible. You will recognize expressions that you had never heard before. And maybe one day, you will start speaking without translating every sentence in your head. That's the goal, not perfection. Progress. On a normal day, I usually have a lot of things to do. I don't always have the same schedule, but I try to follow a routine. Having a routine helps me know what I need to do. I usually wake up in the morning and take a few minutes to start my day slowly. I don't like to jump out of bed and immediately start working. I prefer to take my time. I get up, open the window, and let some fresh air into the room. Sometimes I look outside and think about the day ahead. I ask myself what I need to accomplish. I ask myself what my priorities are. Then I take a shower and get ready for the day. After that, I usually have breakfast. Breakfast is an important part of my morning. I don't always eat the same thing. Sometimes I want something simple. Sometimes I want to take more time and enjoy my breakfast. While I'm eating, I may check my phone. I look at my messages. I check my emails. And I answer the most important ones. Of course, I don't want to spend the entire morning on my phone. So after a while, I put it away. I try to focus on the things that really matter. After breakfast, I make a list of the things I need to do. I don't always write down every single detail. Sometimes I just write down the most important tasks. For example, I may need to work on a project. I may need to write something. I may need to create content. I may need to learn something new, or I may simply need to take care of some personal responsibilities. Having a plan helps me stay organized. It also helps me avoid wasting time. Of course, I don't always finish everything on my list. Sometimes something unexpected happens. Sometimes a task takes longer than expected. And sometimes I simply have too many things to do. When that happens, I try not to stress too much. I look at my list again. I decide what is most important. And I continue with the next task. During the day, I work on my projects. I may spend several hours in front of my computer. Sometimes I write. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I watch videos to learn something new. And sometimes I work on creative ideas. When I work for a long time, I try to take regular breaks. I stand up. I walk around. I drink some water. Sometimes I look outside for a few minutes. Taking a break helps me clear my mind. It helps me come back to my work with more energy. Sometimes I feel motivated. Sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes I have many ideas. Sometimes I don't know what to do next. That's normal. You don't have to feel motivated every day. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel ready to do everything. Other days, even a small task feels difficult. But I know that consistency is more important than motivation. You don't need to feel excited every day. You just need to continue. You just have to keep moving forward. Even if you only make a little progress, that's okay. A little progress is better than no progress. The important thing is to keep going. At the end of the day, I like to think about what I accomplished. I ask myself what went well. I also think about what I could have done better. I don't do this to criticize myself. I do it to learn. Every day is a learning experience. Some days teach you patience. Some days teach you discipline. Some days teach you that things don't always go according to plan. But every day can teach you something. And tomorrow is another opportunity to try again. During the day, I spend a lot of time working on my projects. Some projects are small. Some projects are more ambitious. But every project starts with an idea. Sometimes I have an idea suddenly. I may be walking. I may be relaxing. Or I may be doing something completely different. And suddenly I think, what if I tried this? That's how many ideas begin. Of course, having an idea is only the first step. The difficult part is taking action. It's easy to say, I want to do this. It's much harder to actually start. Sometimes you have to make a plan. Sometimes you have to learn new skills. Sometimes you have to make mistakes. And sometimes you have to start all over again. But that's part of the process. Nothing is perfect the first time. When I work on a project, I try to focus on one step at a time. I don't try to do everything at once. If I think about everything I need to do, I can feel overwhelmed. So I ask myself a simple question. What is the next thing I need to do? Then I focus on that. Once I finish it, I move on to the next step. This approach helps me stay focused. It also helps me avoid procrastinating. Sometimes the biggest problem is not that we don't know what to do. The problem is that we keep waiting. We wait for the perfect moment. We wait until we feel ready. We wait until we have more time. But the perfect moment may never come. Sometimes you simply have to start. You can improve along the way. You can learn while you are doing. And you can change your plan if necessary. I have learned that progress is not always easy to see. Sometimes you work for weeks or months without seeing big results. That can be frustrating. You may start to wonder if your efforts are worth it. You may ask yourself if you are going in the right direction. But sometimes progress is happening quietly. You are learning. You are gaining experience. You are becoming more confident. And you are preparing yourself for future opportunities. That's why I try to be patient. I know that good things take time. I also know that failure is part of the process. Not every idea will work. Not every project will be successful. Not every decision will be the right decision. But every experience can teach you something. When something doesn't work, I try to understand why. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? Then I try again. Maybe I change my strategy. Maybe I improve my plan. Maybe I take a different approach. But I don't want one failure to stop me completely. I believe that the most important thing is to keep learning. As long as you are learning, you are growing. And as long as you are moving forward, you are making progress. After working hard for a long time, sometimes you need to take a break. That's why I enjoy going on vacation. A vacation gives you the opportunity to slow down. You can forget about your daily responsibilities for a while. You can take a deep breath. And you can enjoy the moment. Today I'm spending the day at the beach. The weather is beautiful. The sun is shining. The sky is clear. And there is a gentle breeze coming from the ocean. I can hear the sound of the waves. The water is moving slowly. Some people are swimming. Other people are sitting on the beach. Some people are playing games with their friends. And some people are simply relaxing. Personally, I just want to enjoy the atmosphere. I don't want to think about work right now. I don't want to check every message. I don't want to worry about everything I have to do tomorrow. For a few hours, I just want to relax. Sometimes we forget how important rest is. We are always busy. We are always checking our phones. We are always thinking about the next thing. But sometimes you need to stop. You need to look around. You need to appreciate where you are. The sound of the waves is very relaxing. The ocean looks beautiful. The air feels fresh. And the whole atmosphere makes me feel calm. I think that simple moments like this are important. You don't always need expensive things to be happy. Sometimes happiness can be very simple. A beautiful day, a good meal, a nice conversation, a walk on the beach, time with people you love. These moments may seem small, but they can become some of your best memories. Of course, I also enjoy doing activities during my vacation. Sometimes I like walking along the beach. Sometimes I like swimming. Sometimes I explore new places. I may visit a new restaurant. I may discover a new city. Or I may simply walk around and see what I can find. Traveling and discovering new places can teach you a lot. You see how other people live. You discover new cultures. You try new food. And you meet people with different experiences. That's one of the things I love about traveling. The world is much bigger than the place where we live. There is always something new to discover. And there is always something new to learn. So what is the method that helped me the most? The answer is simple. I listen to English regularly. I didn't try to learn everything in one day. I didn't try to memorize thousands of words. I focused on listening. I listened to real English. I listened to conversations. I listened to stories. And I listened to the same expressions several times. At first, I didn't understand everything. Sometimes I only understood a few words. But I continued listening. The more I listened, the more familiar English became. I started recognizing common expressions. I started understanding the rhythm of the language. I started recognizing different sounds. And little by little, I became more comfortable. That's why I believe repetition is so important. When you hear an expression once, you may forget it. When you hear it several times, your brain starts to remember it. And when you hear it in different situations, you start to understand how to use it. That's why you should not be afraid to listen to the same video again. You can listen to it tomorrow. You can listen to it next week. You can listen to it while you are walking. You can listen to it while you are relaxing. You can listen to it while you are doing simple tasks. The important thing is consistency. You don't have to study for 5 hours. Even 30 minutes a day can make a difference. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes during the day, and 10 minutes in the evening. The goal is to make English part of your daily life. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start with what you know. Listen, repeat, speak out loud, make mistakes, and continue. Little by little you will improve.